Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Grand Theft Auto 6, and it appears that we've got GTA 6 before GTA 6, at least the GTA 6 map. So this one's pretty interesting. It appears the GTA 6 community map is being made in GTA 5. Vice Beach is nearly done. They're adding trees, props, and custom Vice City themed models, after which they'll probably make the Venetian Islands too. At this point in time, the mod has not released just yet. It is currently in development, and I don't know if it will make it to release. Take-Two and Rockstar seem to be pretty vigilant on taking down stuff like this. In fact, a while back we talked about how Take-Two took down the YouTube channel for the GTA Vice City Next Gen Edition, even though the Next Gen Edition did launch. Now, I don't know about you, but I wish Take-Two and Rockstar shared a similar view as the director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I mean, check out this paragraph in PC Gamer. The director says, "I respect the modding community and recognizes the importance of mods in PC gaming, observing that mods can breathe new life into games years after release." And yeah, I would argue that would result in even more sales. If anything here, I would say that this mod is going to get people even more excited about GTA 6. I don't know, let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, and if this mod would make you excited about GTA 6, and if you'd be interested in possibly reinstalling GTA 5 if you haven't played it in a while to check out this mod. And speaking about releases, next up we're talking about the upcoming Nvidia RTX 5090, and it appears people are already camped out outside of a Micro Center about 4 days or so before the card is released. And this to me is dedication or desperation. I can't decide between the two. Interestingly, someone from the second tent commented on this Reddit post, and they say, "Hello everyone, I'm the guy you guys are talking about in the second tent. And yes, we are buying it for our own use. No trades and no sells. We just don't want to pay the extra dollars for a gaming card, and yes, we do have some times on our hands because we run a business. Good luck to everyone who are trying to get one." And it seems that not everybody is buying that explanation. This reply here has even more likes. Not a whole lot, I mean just 6, but at the same time it's 2 more than 4. So they say here, "Dude, we all know you're scalpers. No one is jealous. Just like every 2 years, there will be a time when the cards can be purchased online. There is no need to camp. Showing up early the day of is one thing, but what you're doing, and as a student, reminds me of the student from 4 years ago who lined up to get a 30 series to resell. He said he ran a business just like you guys." Now, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of buying the second response here because I can't picture sitting outside for 4 days in the cold for a 5090. I can't imagine a situation where I would need a 5090 that bad. I mean, if I really needed a GPU, I'd probably just buy something for a little bit cheaper that still performed well, avoid the entire hassle and save a few bucks and just enjoy my time. I don't know here. I mean, I could see someone sitting 4 days to resell it if the price that they're going to get from reselling it will make up for the time they're sitting waiting for it. Let me know your thoughts about that one in the comments below. And speaking about waiting for stuff to release, next up we're talking about Virtua Fighter 5 REVO, or REVO, or subscribe to Mr. Sujano, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. Anyways, this game has just launched, and interestingly here, it's got a mixed overall review score. It is currently 20% off. Taking a look at some of the negative reviews, and it seems a common theme here is customization. So a number of people are saying there are a lack of customization options and this game feels very bare bones. The second theme I'm seeing here is the multiplayer experience. So this person says multiplayer is not functional. And this person says scrap the connection bars, they're not accurate in the slightest. The rollback isn't actually finished yet, and for every 1 playable match, I get 6 that aren't. Avoid it until rollback is actually finished. Here's a few more negative reviews. This person says offline content equals arcade mode only. Should call this game Virtua Fighter 5 De-Evolution. Day 1 DLC, which is not included in the deluxe edition. Nice. And this person says purposely removing the base game content and then repackaging it as paid DLC that costs half as much as the game itself. Basically a worse version of a 20-year-old game. But yippee, it looks pretty, I guess. Runs like trash too. Very disappointed. And this person is mad that the game does not have quest mode. So let me know your thoughts about this one. I'm disappointed on this release. I was very excited for Virtua Fighter 5 REVO. And seeing this now, it's, well, this is one of the reasons why I don't pre-order games anymore. Next up here, we're talking about Xbox One Emulation, or translation with XY1. And this is a pretty big breakthrough. Xbox One now works on Linux, and on top of that can work on Android via Winlater. Now, unfortunately, I haven't seen any download links yet for Xbox One. It does seem that this is still being worked on, still in development. But I think this is going to be very exciting when it officially releases for everyone to check out and enjoy. Either way here, feel free to check out their YouTube channel as they've got a couple of videos on Xbox One. On a side note here, here's a statement from the development team back in September. It's not ready for public consumption just yet in code or binary form. Yes, we know how strange 6 playable games makes that statement sound. We will likely end up open sourcing the project alongside the first binary release, but it's too early to confirm anything yet. Next up, we're talking about something that may come as a surprise to some people, and some people may be very interested in checking out. We're talking about Signalis, just not the version on Steam. So Signalis is a survival horror game that was released back in 2022 and has an overwhelmingly positive review score. Anyways, there's a demake of Signalis over on itch.io, and you can play it in your browser, and it's been demade for the Game Boy. It's called Signalis Shortwave Transmission, and it's based on the demo of the game. On top of playing it in your browser, you can also play it on original hardware here. They say it's built for the original DMG model of the Game Boy, meaning that it should have the widest compatibility and performance across all models. And you can play it in an emulator. They do recommend using SameBoy. If you wanted to see it in action, you can go on ahead and just play it in the browser and enjoy it. Or if you wanted to see it on a YouTube video, there's a 27-minute playthrough. So this game is not necessarily the hugest, but at the same time, 27 minutes is pretty good for a free game. And the game itself does not look too bad at all. It does look creepy. It's got a horror vibe to it. Next up, we're quickly talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, and it seems that invites for the Nintendo Switch 2 experience have been sent out from Nintendo. So if you signed up in hopes of being selected for the event, you'll probably have to check your inbox to see whether or not you were actually selected. And it seems some high-profile people like Jeff Keighley were not selected. Now, it shouldn't come as a shock to anyone, but I didn't even apply, so I wasn't going to get selected anyways, and we'll have to wait and see here to see what the event is like and if anyone sneaks some recordings and, well, shows off what the event is. Next up, we're talking about one of my favorite ROM hacks, and that's NHL 94, but the revised editions of it. So this is the Sega Genesis version of the game that's been updated to include updated players and rosters and even more. And NHL 94 2025 edition has just been updated. There is a lot of effort that goes into this ROM hack. They say 800 players have been obsessively rated. There's up-to-date teams, up-to-date colors, up-to-date logos, arenas, and a lot of different stuff here. The gameplay has been re-envisioned. There are graphical refinements and even more. If you're into NHL, into retro games, and into ROM hacks, this one may be up your alley. Next up, we're talking about Ubisoft, and it appears that Ubisoft is not having a good time. They've announced a studio closure in Leamington, laying off 185 staff. Now, to be clear, though, it's not 185 people specifically from the Leamington site. It appears it's 185 people across a few different sites, for example, Dusseldorf and Stockholm. So we'll have to wait and see if these layoffs continue over at Ubisoft, but it seems that things are not going well for this company this year, or last year, or possibly even the year before. Next up here, take this one with a huge grain of salt. Sony is reportedly developing a new God of War game set in Egyptian mythology. This right now is a completely unconfirmed rumor. We're going to have to wait on this one to see if anything does get confirmed, if it is real, but at the same time, it does seem plausible and it would be pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts about that one and if you'd be interested in an Egyptian mythology God of War game. Next up here, we're talking about Hogwarts Legacy, and Hogwarts Legacy is getting official PC modding on January 30th. You can change a whole bunch of stuff like a broomstick. You can create new quests and even more. I don't know about you, but I think certain companies should take note of what's happening here. I think this is going to generate more sales for Hogwarts Legacy and get more people interested in the overall series. I mean, having new quests to a game adds a lot of replayability, and a lot of craziness adds a lot of fun, and I would say even more replayability. If you are interested in this one, the mod manager comes out in a couple of days, and it's a 100% free update. There is no cost to modding the game. And here's one of the top comments: developers that actually care about the community and let them mod the game freely. Hell yeah. Let me know your thoughts about that. And speaking about hell yeah, next up we're talking about BigPEmu, and BigPEmu just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, BigPEmu version 1.18 is the latest update. There's a bunch of fixes and some brand new additions. They added options for PvP damage scaling and infinite shotgun ammo to the AVP MP script. And they say here, and this one's interesting, new Steam integration. This includes support for game servers, friends, invites, rich presents, and more. At the time of this writing, Valve is still holding the actual Steam release up over some petty nonsense, like supported categories and Patreon references. Unfortunately, I don't have any insight as to an anticipated Steam Store release date for BigPEmu. The Steam Store page is up. You can wishlist it if you want. You just can't download and install it. And who knows how long it's going to take Valve and Rich to sort things out. And speaking about Steam, next up we're talking about Playnite, which is an open source video game library manager with one simple goal: to provide a unified interface for all of your games. And Playnite just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, version 10.35 is the latest update. We've got a bunch of fixes and a couple of brand new additions here. They added Lime 3DS emulator profile, and they've added Shad PS4 emulator support for PS4 emulation. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. The one fluff is upstairs cuddling with Mrs. Sujano. It's a lot warmer in her room than it is mine. I prefer my room a little bit cooler. And during the winter months, the fluff doesn't necessarily like being in the cold. Anyways, we talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.